Hey, welcome everybody. This is CP Cards and Dice, and welcome to another broadcast of our 1976 Yankees replay using Inside Pitch Baseball. This is game 67. It's the second game of a doubleheader. It's Dick Tidrow on mound for the Yankees versus Pete Broberg for the Milwaukee Brewers. Now, welcome to your home for tutorials and strategy and player profiles, history, reviews, news, tips, tops, baseball cards, rants, and so much more. I welcome you and thanks for stopping by. Now, there's been a couple things going on in the hobby lately, and it's been some of the controversy that's been ignited. And I've got a lot of a heated response from people that I don't understand, to be honest with you. But I've been kind of involved in a back and forth about a comments that I had regarding the payoff pitch addition to their card face, and that was the dates in which the player played. Like, for example, if the player joined the team July 1st, well, it would say July 1st until whenever he played with that team. And my comment was like basically very, very genuine and honest. I said, okay, I got a comment, but okay, I got an addition, but it's not really, I don't see it as something that's really truly valuable. I think it's just adding something to add something. I don't, I can see maybe some people will use it, but if you're worried, really worried about the dates that the guy played with the team, don't you want to know the dates that he was actually on the roster? What if a guy like Nimmo, where you have the dates, missed 3 months? Are you going to have him playing? Or, I mean, does that make a difference? Aren't you going to have to look and see which dates he was out, when he started to be out? Or are you just going to play him X amount of games and then pull him out because then you would have to go by at-bats. And if you're going to go by at-bats, why do you need the dates? I mean, you could say to me, well, I want to know when the guy was traded to my team and now when he's available to me. And okay, I get that. And maybe, I mean, that I'm not saying it's totally useless. I'm saying it has a role, it has a purpose, but it opens kind of a bag of worms. And I really think that when you make a change to a card, it should be something that's absolutely necessary. It shouldn't be something that you could put on a side piece of paper. That's my whole comment. Well, this ignited a firestorm of angry, lurkers who came out of the woodworks, and some who are not so much lurkers and just have personal vendettas because they don't like people who speak their opinion. And I told them, hey, it's my opinion. You don't have to have my opinion. You can have your own opinion, but you don't have to attack me. You go on Tabletop Delphi, you can see the 69 rant. Well, this is going to be a 76 rant because I'm letting you know that I can stand up to you and your army. Understand? I'm not backing down. I'm a kid from New York, from Queens, New York. I come from a working class family, and I'm not going to back off. I'm telling you, I have a right to speak my opinion. Now, Mike Bowling over on the Facebook page deleted my opinion. He said, "Oh, our hobby's too small to have anybody criticizing it." I say, "Who the hell are you? Who the hell are you to tell me that I can't tell you that I don't agree with an addition to a game that I really like?" And who are you? Just because you run a website doesn't mean you should have the power to censor people's opinion when you're trying to create a website where people want to visit. I'm just telling you that his sports board gaming, I think, is his website on Facebook. He's not going to let you. He's not going to let you voice your opinion, and he's constantly repeating, "You better not say best. If you say best, I'm going to delete it. If you say best again, I'm going to vanquish you." It's constant threats. I mean, if I say, "Oh, I think this is the best game for me," oh, you can't say best. So it's constant censorship. It's preposterous. It's ridiculous. This is a tabletop gaming. This is a fun thing. If guys want to have an opinion, let them go at it a little bit. It's okay. On Delphi, the guy's very fair. I'll be honest with you. The guy who runs Delphi, will, if he sees something's getting heated, he will intervene and he will say, "Hey guys, you're going overboard. I'm going to freeze this thread until I can figure out, what's going on here." Okay, and this is what's happening basically. So the thing that got the guys the most mad when they came at me and they told me, "Well, blah blah blah, you can't, blah, it's nothing wrong with it. I really like it." I said, "Okay, you like it. Good for you. I don't like it." And I said, and then they didn't know what to say to that, especially when I said, "You know what? I'm going to fix it." You know how I'm going to fix it? With correction fluid. That got me deleted. Okay, because they said, "Well, I don't have a comeback for that. I can't be smarter than this guy." And that's what it's all about, being smarter, right? They want to run the forum and they want to be the big shot behind, the controls, and they want to have the last word. You're not going to have the last word with me. All right, so forget it. Don't argue with me because you're not going to win. And that's how I feel. All right, I'm the nicest guy around. I'll do anything for you guys. And by the way, one of my favorite senseis, I promised him I'd do a video on making some shipping labels, and I'm going to do that after this. I couldn't find my mini tripod, and I just found it. It was like right in front of my nose. But anyway, I just wanted to get the pregame started a little bit with this kind of mini rant about Mike Boland and a couple people that attack. When you make an opinion, and I'll show you exactly what it's all about. It's right here. Look at this. This is what all the attacks on me are about. You see this little section right here? It's in parentheses or in brackets. I really can't tell. It's May 24th to June 14th. Okay. I don't need to know that. It doesn't help me really, because he could have been up and down in the minors and in the injured list throughout this whole period. He was on the team, but it doesn't say he's on the roster. So then I would require, for me and the way I play the game, I would require a lot more. Now, I'm not saying this is not valuable to other guys. And if it is, I respect that. If it's valuable to other guys, good for you. I don't agree with it. That's all I said. And if you put this on, why can't you put the stuff that I need? When does it end? When do you start making everything smaller and you start adding other information? Because if you add information for this handful of guys who basically, kind of were behind this to convince Joe to put this on there, and Joe already told me he's not going to add any more stuff to the cards. But that's not the issue. The issue is, why are you attacking me? Because so this is what got them mad. I said, "You know what? I don't care what you think. You can think what you want, but you're not going to tell me, and you're not going to attack me, because I'm going to stand up to you and I'm going to tell me, criticize the idea. If you like it, make your argument why you like it." And when they made their argument, I told them this: I'm going to fix it. How am I going to fix it? I'm going to fix it with correction fluid. All right? And this is how you fix what you don't like. You just go over it. There it is. Fixed. That's it. That got them so mad. I got deleted. I got attacked. I got insulted. I said, "Hey, that you don't like it, tough. You put stuff on my cards that I don't agree with and I don't need, and it's just basically cluttering up my card. And you run the risk of course, a slippery slope argument." The guy accused some other nincompoop accused me and I hope you listen to you because I'm talking to you. You're a nincompoop, okay? You accuse me of creating a straw man argument. Listen, go look at your arguments again. It's not a straw man argument. It's a slippery slope argument. And what that means is that my argument is if you start with this, when does it end? It's a slippery slope. That was my point. It's not a straw man argument, okay? There's something to argue about, and that's what I'm talking about. So don't attack me, don't insult me, don't delete me. Just tell me, hey, Mike Boland said I like it, and I said, okay, you like it. I fixed it already. Don't worry about it. I'm using correction fluid. So anyway, let me take a look at some of the comments. I'm a pen and paper guy, LOL. Mike, Mr. Molly tells me that he's keeping stats with pen and paper. I bow down to you, sir, because that's powerful. Didn't like the date idea either. John Cost doesn't like the date idea either. Okay, great. No problem. I didn't like it. It's just not useful. It's not useful for me because I need more information than that. Other guys may like it. And I'm sure the handful of guys that kind of fought to get this on the card that Joe listened to, even though Joe did he did an actual poll. You can go back, and I think he got rid of the poll because there was too many arguments. He did a poll about 8 months ago, I think it was, and people, I think the poll was don't make the change on the card, but there was some guys that were advocating it, so energetically that Joe was like overwhelmed. And he said, he's a nice guy. He's a good guy. He's a fair guy. And he was like, you know what? I'm just going to add this to the card. And I told him, don't be adding stuff to cards because you're going to shake up a system. You have a good system. You have a quality system. Don't shake it up. Don't create animosity. Don't create a big to-do by adding little random stuff. Now, why didn't you add, instead of doing that, why didn't you add, instead of having fatigue short, give me a number of batters faced? Why couldn't you do that? You see how it's a snowball effect? If you do something for these guys, why can't you do something for me? Why can't you do something for John? Why can't you do something for Mr. Molly? Why can't you do something for Benny Blades? Why? You see how it's a snowball effect? Because this is not helpful to a lot of guys. This is just stuff that's you extended the line of where it says New York, 2019 New York, it was right in the middle on the old cards. And I'll show you the old cards. I have them here somewhere. You see on the old cards, it's right there. It's right under the name. It's kind of right in the center of the card. Now it's going to be moved over because now you got to put a bunch of dates. Here it is. Look at that. Now you would have the dates of all the guys that played the whole season on the roster. You're going to have the date that he played the whole season. Why even add that? If you know he played the whole season, when I don't see any dates in there, that means he played the whole season. You don't need to clutter up that part of the card. Then they started saying, it's only a few centimeters. It's not the point about the centimeters, okay? The issue is that when you start making changes, that opens up a can of worms. Why can't you understand that, okay? And if you don't understand it, just say, okay, you know what? That guy has a strong opinion about it. I'm moving on. I'm not going to insult you. I'm not going to insult John. I'm not going to insult Mr. Molly. I'm not going to insult John Cost. I'm not going to insult Benny Blades. I'm not going to insult ID Jester because he has an opinion. I'm not going to insult baseball demos. I'm not going to insult, Al Red Sox fan. I'm not going to insult anybody because they have a different opinion than I do. But when you attack me, guess what? Like Mike Boland attacked me, I let him have it. And you can go and look at the baseball rant on Delphi, and you can see how he took my rant and my response to him privately, and he took that, copied and pasted that, and he brought it to make me look like a raving madman. And so what? Maybe I am a raving madman. Maybe sometimes we have to be raving madmen when we're fighting for basic principles this comes down to having free speech. This is really, I know it sounds like I'm making it into a serious issue, but it is a serious issue because, when you violate people's rights, it starts in the smallest things. And it becomes larger and larger and larger, and then it becomes something that's societal. It's across. It's transcontinental eventually. So it's an issue. Why can't guys just come on and say, "Hey, I don't like this" or "I don't like that" without getting attacked? That's what I want to know. It's absolutely, Benny. It is internet bullying. It's internet harassment. It's internet bullying because I'm saying I don't like this edition, and you're attacking me as a person. You're saying, "Oh, who are you? What the hell are you? Well, your opinion is not valid. You don't know squat." All the personal attacks, and you can go see them all on Delphi. And you know what? I stood up to every one of those. I've been moderated, okay? And I already spoke to the guy who runs Delphi, and he says he's going to release things so I can respond. I said, these guys are attacking me, and I don't get a chance to respond. It's mob mentality. It's a mob mentality from a small minds because nobody joins a mob. Okay, your job when you see a mob is to act as a referee and an intermediary and to minimize the damage. That is what a responsible citizen does. A responsible citizen doesn't pile on. All right, that's what irrational, characters do. You don't do that. So that's what you get a lot of guys doing. They love to kick the guy when he's down. All of a sudden, they're big men. They're big men when the guy's down, when there's somebody beating on him and he can't respond, so they're going to come in, they're going to beat on him too. You know what? I stood up to all of them, and I'll continue to stand up to all of them. And I told them, you're going to hear about it on my stream channel, all right? And I'm going to let you have it, and I'm naming names, okay? So every time you come after me, they're going to know who you are and what you're about. Because when you look, okay, I spoke to Mike Boland in person, privately, on a separate message, and I called him out. I did call him out. I told him, you're a small, narrow-minded guy who's kind of a dictator on your own little forum, and you have no right to delete a guy's with the excuse that I'm harming the hobby. How am I harming the hobby if all I'm about is the hobby? That was your excuse to wield your power of nothing. All right, because that's what these guys think. They think they're all that because they got 6 people. I'm the only guy that puts content on that site. All right, so I told them I'm withdrawing all my content. I'm not going to be a supporter of this crappy site. All right, I don't need you. You got nothing. You don't offer anything. All right, I'm the one who brings something and opens my world up to share with people and interact with people and make it exciting. Because he doesn't do anything, he just runs the thing. And instead of talking to me, and he came on my thread that I posted the information about. I didn't like the cards, and I didn't like what was that. I didn't say I didn't like the cards. I said I didn't like that little aspect on the cards. And he said, "Well, I don't find anything wrong with it." And I said, "Okay, don't worry, Mike. I fixed it already with correction tape." And oh man, the next thing I know is he deleted me because that was a comeback he couldn't say anything about. I had the last word. And he said, "Oh, who the hell is this guy having the last word on me? I run the forum. I'm big shot." You can look him up, Mike Boland. He's just a joke. He's not a decent person. Yeah, you got to keep off Delphi. Delphi is a bullying zone, man. It's a bullying zone, and they just attack you instead of saying, "Hey, listen, I think that's a good idea. I know that I think I made valid points. I said if you put that on, I want other stuff on there too. Why can't you add other stuff, right?" And now, look what happens. All the team name is on the side, is on the left side. It's not balanced anymore. So the cards lost balance because you had to add these random dates. And I got to show you all the dates that are there. Basically, the guy played the whole season, right? The guy played the whole season, like Ahmed Rosario. So I have the whole season on there. Well, thanks for telling me. Played the whole season. Dominic Smith was on there the whole season. But he was on the injured reserve list a bunch of times. So he may not be. Juan Lagares played the whole season except for one day. What good is that? What is the purpose of telling me that? Jeff McNeil played the whole season until 4 days before the season end. Okay, how is that going to change my replay? 90% of the guys are never going to get to the last part of the season anyway, because you give up your replays 1/3 of the way through. We all do. I got my 1985 Yanks that I started 4 years ago that are still going. Okay. And I don't think I'm ever going to finish. That's a Status Pro replay. Another one, Michael Conforti played the whole season, but it's clogging up it's cluttering up my card. Robinson Cano, 28 to March 28th to September 29th. He played the whole season. Thanks for telling me. But it doesn't tell me that he was on the injured reserve list for like 6 times. And I'm exaggerating. He was on there for 2 or 3 times. and other times he wasn't on, but he missed 7 or 8 games. Doesn't give me that information. So if I'm going to have a replay, if I care about this, don't you think I would care about when he's on the roster? Anyway, I'm not going to go on anymore. Enough is enough. I'm going to play some inside pitch baseball, which I really like. Here's Dirt Tidrow. Dirt Tidrow starting for the Yankees. This is the second game of a doubleheader. And this game is played, I believe, on June 27th, 1976. And Dick Tidrow, let me tell you a little bit about his stats. He pitched 92 innings, was in 47 games, was 4-5, and a 2.63 ERA. Dick Dirt Tidrow. He's got the mean mustache. He's got the Fu Manchu going in 1976. I love these are the actual 1977 season cards, because if you get the 77 season cards, you can get these for about $100 cheaper than you can to get the 76 cards. So the 76 cards are really about the 75 season. The 77 cards are more about the 77 team because they take it at the end of the year. So all those guys that were traded to your team during the course of the year, they won't be on the 76 list. They'll be on the 77 list. So if you're going to play a year, get the tops year. That's the next one. Now, 77 is $100 cheaper than the 76. All right. So I'm just giving you that heads up as well. And I'm ready to start ball playing here. I'm ready to start rolling. I already ranted a little bit to get you guys to get warmed up. And who's there? Oh, Bob B is there. Tony, you're wrong about everything. You don't know squat. Stop acting like a victim and creating chaos. Are you still angry because the Mets lost 73 World Series? Are you taking out in the playoff? Bob B is a riot. Okay, you are a riot, sir. All right, keep up the good work over there. He's replaying. He's using. He picked up inside pitch from us playing it and talking about it, and now he's doing a big tournament, and he reports the tournament. I think he reports it. He reports it on the Inside Pitch site, I believe. You can go to the Inside Pitch website, the forum on Facebook, or you can also he needs to go to the Delphi and report the results of his tournament. He's playing a great teams tournament with the IP with Inside Pitch. Now, why are the 76 cards so much more expensive? They're about $100 more expensive. That's a great question. I don't exactly know why they're $100 more expensive, but that's more or less what they're going for. The 76 set will go for $200, and the 77 set will go for about $100. Don't ask me what the 1970 set, showing the 1969 teams goes for, because I'm not going to share that with you. And don't you dare look it up, because if you do, I will definitely come after you. All right. All right, so Von Joshua now. I love Inside Pitch Baseball, so if you haven't had a chance to learn it, I will give you a little bicentennial set. Perhaps. Good point. Perhaps. So the way you play Inside Baseball, you got the red, and that's going to be the column. Then you got the white, that's going to be the row. Then you got the modifier die that it gives you informational die. It tells you what's going to happen based on different percentages. And so we're going to use that. We can use that roll right now to get started. It's going to be 1-6. 1-6 is a ballpark. That little @ symbol tells you to use the ballpark. This is great. So there's an interaction of the triad between the pitcher, the batter, and the ballpark. So now we're going to roll for the ballpark, a 4-1, and that's a ground ball to the first baseman, and that's it. It's that simple. So Inside Pitch is a blast, 99% off the cards, and that's something that, for me, you must have. The reason I play a lot of APA is because I know most of the results, but even that annoys me that I have to every inning or every other inning I got to look at the chart a couple times, and that's really annoying about APA baseball. But APA baseball I love APA baseball, and I call it my Cold War game. So Von Joshua grounds out to the first baseman, and it's Dick Tidrow against Don Money. And that's a 4-1. That's a range play. So range play is going to require an extra die, another roll. So you do roll a lot of dice in this game. I'm not going to lie to you. I wouldn't do that. A 3-5, it's a fly ball swung on by Money and lifted to center field. And out there is Mick the Quick Rivers, and he makes the catch. That's 2 outs. 2 outs in the first inning. On the 2, that 2 is the range play, so that tells you that he makes the catch because he's a 5. And now it's George Scott. And that's a 6-6. That's a K14. We look at the ballpark tells you it's -3 on Ks. So it's a 14, it's 11, and we rolled a 14, so that's above. We're going to roll again on George Scott's card. 3-2, that's a ground ball. Chop to the shortstop. And who's that? Mason out there. Fires to first, and that retires the side. That was Jim Mason. And it's the bottom of the first inning. Yes, John. John Cost knows what he's talking about. This is a hidden gem. And if guys are like locked into what they did when they were a kid, that's great. That's beautiful. But you're missing out a great game here in inside pitch baseball. Mickey Rivers. 2-3. That's a strikeout, potential strikeout, and the one will be a strikeout. Pete Broberg strikes out Mick the Quick, who doesn't strike out very often. Oh, Jesus. I did the wrong thing. Let me back up. I'm using something very archaic, very clunky. It's called iScore. Okay, iScore is like a opening up. You know, like when you go to one of those sporting goods places and you buy those big, huge scorekeeping books that you're going to keep scoring your kids' little league games. That's what this is like. It's got a lot of boxes that look like that, and it's real clunky. So let's see. All right, strikeout. Roy White is next, and I'll give you some stats on Roy White. The good thing about this, keeps all my stats. Roy White's batting 285. At one point, he's batting 385, but he's come back down to reality. In reality, Roy White batted 286. These are beautiful cards, and they're super easy to read. If you're like me, doesn't have great vision. All right, here goes. Pete Broberg, 6'2", and that's a blank. Roy White, 6'1", that's line and caught by the shortstop. That's Robin Yount out there. And that's 2 out now. Pete Broberg to Carlos May, the third place batter. Batting fourth is Chris Chambliss, the first baseman. Batting fifth is Craig Nettles, the third baseman. Batting sixth is the right fielder Oscar Gamble. Elrod Hendricks, the catcher, he played in the '69 World Series against the Mets. Willie Randolph, the second baseman. The beauty that let me finish up. And Jim Mason batting ninth, the shortstop. In '76, you still get playing '76, replaying '76. You're still getting, you're still getting the guys that played in the late '60s, which is kind of cool. Like I just played. Oh, Hank Aaron, is he? He's not in the lineup today, is he? Let me check. Wait. So you get to play against Hank Aaron, which is, I mean, come on. He's not in the lineup today, but he was in the lineup yesterday, I believe, which was this morning's game. It's a doubleheader. So, all right. So who's up here? Let's see. Bottom of the first, Carlos May. All right, it's a 4-4, and that's going to be a blank. So we're rolling off Carlos May's card. And it's a 6-2, and that's a fly ball center field. High fly center field. And I'll tell you who's out there in a second once I can see it. The center fielder today is Von Joshua. Bernie Carbo's leading off against Dick Tidrow. 2-6, that's a blank. So we're looking off Bernie Carbo's card. 2-1, that's a ground ball. Chop to second. Randolph. Oh. All right. Randolph throws him out. Mike Keegan getting. Oh, Doug, you are up. Oh, wait a second, guy. Oh, my God. All right. Mike Keegan. 6'4", and that's a potential. Oh, wait. Yep, that's a potential home run. So we're going to look at this section here. He's a lefty, so 1-19, and that's a 7. So now so Tidrow, if he gives up a lot of home runs, it'll be shown on his card. Now, this is not an automatic home run. You're going to have to look at Hegan, because if he's a guy that doesn't hit many, well, he may not hit one. Hegan is a guy who hits more than average, better than average. He's a 60% guy on home runs versus both lefties and righties, because he didn't have at-bats to kind of be rated for lefty versus righty. He didn't have enough at bats. I don't know why, because he's got 218 at bats. And what my understanding is that it's 50 at bats. If the guy doesn't have 50 at bats, he won't get rated from lefty to righty. But on this guy versus lefty and righty, he's got the same exact numbers. So again, that's a question that came up. And so I'm going to ask around about that question. But you know what? I'm going to ask, hey, did you goof up, or did you drop the ball, or am I misunderstanding it, or what's the deal? So we're going to roll here. We less than 7, and Mike Hegan gets a hold of one and lifts one into the seats in right field, and that's a deep drive. And back goes the right fielder. Who is that out there? I don't even know. That's Oscar Gamble to the track, to the wall. Looks up. That's gone. Mike Hegan puts the Brewers up by a score of 1-0. And Mike Hegan hit 5 home runs and 200 at bats. So that's basically proportionally, that's about 15 home runs. All right, next is Sixto Lezcano with 1 out. That's a 3-1. That's wild, so that's going to be a replay. Foul ball. 6-5, that's a blank, so we go off Lezcano's card. And a 5-1, and that's a ground ball right at the shortstop. Mason up with it, fires the first. That's 2 down. Next is Robin Yount. That's a 1-4, and that's double question mark, which is this side. We roll a 16, so that's not going to do it. So now we're going to roll off Yount. And that's a 3-2, and that's, again, a chop to short. And coming on hard is Mason, throws on the run, and, gets Yount by half a step. Good play by Mason. And that retires the side. The Brewers pick up 1 run. They lead at 1-0 against Dick Tidrow. Pete Broberg, bottom of the second. Chris Chambliss, that's a 6-5. And Broberg, that's a potential error on a grounder. Let's see what happens. If it's a grounder, 5-4, and it's a fly ball to left. 1 down. So Chris Chambliss flies out. Next is Greg Nettles, 2-6. That's a range play, so that's going to get us to roll the other die. It's a 5, so that's dangerous. 4-1 could drop in there. 4-1 is a fly ball to right field, and that's going to drop in there. Now, is it a single or a double? And it's going to be a double, so rolls away from Gamble. So he really misplayed it. And in with a 1-out double is Greg Nettles. So Nettles on at second with 1 out here in the bottom of the second. Pete Broberg, the pitcher to Oscar Gamble. Snake Eyes is a blank, so we're looking off Gamble's card. A 1-5, and that's a ground ball to the first baseman. Takes it himself. That moves Nettles to third, and now it's Elrod Hendricks. Elrod Hendricks played 54 games, 132 at bats, 174 was his batting average. So this guy's not a batting champion, that's for sure. 3-1, and that's a potential walk. A walk against a righty is a 6 because you got -2 for Yankee Stadium. We roll a 12, so now that means it's not a walk, and we roll. That's fouled back by Ellie Hendricks. It's a left-handed batter. 6-1. That's a grounder to first, and that will retire the side. Tim Johnson, top of the third. We're moving along. 5-3. That's a potential strikeout, and a 3 will be a strikeout. So Tidrow blows a fastball by Tim Johnson, the second baseman. Oh, I did a double strikeout there. Let's fix that. All right, so Tim Johnson strikes out. Now it's Art Kunzier. That's it. Hold on 1 second. What? What do you mean? No. You said yeah, I'm gonna get $25. No, not from my card. I was gonna put it in the account. I don't have gas in my card. So you said put gas right now. Gotta wait till I'm done here.
All right, well then I'll wait.
I'll put it in right now. Yeah, I'll be right with you guys. We're having technical difficulties here in the studio, and let me see if I can get some the crowd to wake up here at Yankee Stadium. All right, hold on. Let's quickly take care of something. Give me 30 seconds on this. Ah, hmm. All right, I'm getting back to what I'm doing. All right, let's get Art Kunsyer. This is a tough name to pronounce. It's Kusnyer. That's a 1-2. That's a blank, so we're rolling off Kunsyer's card. 1-2, and that's a fly ball left field. Roy White, he's there, makes the catch. 2 out. So we go to the top of the lineup now. Let me try to get my the sound going here. All right, and it's Von Joshua. Snake Eyes, that's against a righty, that would be a K. Otherwise, we're going to roll off Joshua's card. A 4-1, that's hit hard. Pulled down the line, backhanded by Nettles. Long throw to first, in time. Great play by Greg Nettles. And that retires the side. Willie Randolph versus Pete Broberg. Yanks lost the first game 2-1 today. 2-3, that's a potential strikeout, and 18 won't be a strikeout. So we're rolling off of Willie Randolph's card. That's ground ball, hit up the middle, and Yount gets to it. The spinorama, throw to first, in time. And Randolph feels like he was safe, talking to his first base coach. But there's no reviews back in 1976. All right, I see it. Kushner. Is that how you said that name? How do you know that, Bob? Order me a pizza, please. It's pronounced Kushner. Tushner. I don't know. Bob has a lot of information, dude. Let's see. Oh, YouTube watch. Benny Blades is sharing a link with us. All right. 1 out, bottom of the third. 1-0 Brewers. Jim Mason. Jim Mason is a 180 hitter. 3-3. That's a walk plus. We rolled a 20, so it's not going to be a walk. Jim Mason. 1-6, and that's a ground ball to the first baseman. Who's our first baseman? That's Hegan, right? I believe. No, that's George Scott. And he flips to the pitcher. So that's 2 down. And it's Mick the Quick. Mickey Rivers batting a .316, batted .312 in reality. So this is like right on the money. These stats are amazing. 5-3 wild. So we're rolling again on Pete Broberg. It's a 2-5, and that's a potential walk plus, and it will be a walk. Ball 4. So Mickey Rivers, and he's always a threat to steal. And a 2. He gets the lead, and there he goes. And the throw down, not in time. Mickey Rivers walks and steals second just like that. That's his 21st steal of the season. Mickey Rivers stole 43 bases. We're around the half season mark, so that's also right on the money. Roy White. And that's a 6-1. That's ballpark. We're going to look at the ballpark on this, see if we can find it. And a 2-2, that's lined in the gap, and that's going to split. That's going to split the outfielders, and that's going to roll all the way to the wall. Mickey Rivers is going to score easily, and into second base with a 2-out double is Roy White. Big double for Roy White. Pull one into the right center field. Oh, wait a second. Did I look at the wrong card? Oh no, I used the stadium card. Okay. Carlos May now. Now, the Yanks offense has really been hurting since Thurman Munson's been out. That's a 4-4. That's a blank. We're looking off Carlos May. Carlos May's batting .278. In reality, batted .259, 4-4. And that's going to be a ground ball, first base. That's George Scott, takes it himself. And that ends the inning. So the Yanks tie it up on the double by Roy White off the ballpark card. And it's Don Money against Dick Tidrow. That's a 6-4. That's a potential home run. We're going to look at home runs. He's a righty, so 1 and 2, and we roll at 12. So it's not. We're looking off Money, 1-2, and that's a fly ball center field. Backing up is Rivers. George Scott is next. That's a 3-4. That's a potential walk. 17 won't be a walk. So we're looking off George Scott. 3-1, and a 4 is ground ball first base. Chris Chambliss is there. 2 down. Now it's Bernie Carbo. Pitch from Tidrow, 3-3. That's a potential error. See how this works. 6-3. So that's a potential error on George Scott, the first baseman. That's a 20, so it won't be an error. So it's a ball that he bobbles, he juggles a little bit, and rushes to first, and he just beats Bernie Carbo. And that retires the side. So it was hit hard right at Chambliss, bobbled it a bit, but had time to recover and beat Bernie Carbo to the bag. Chris Chambliss. And it's a 2-6. That's a range play, so that's an advantage for Chambliss, I would say. And a 4-6. A 4-6 is ground ball third base. Now, if Scott is a 3 or less, well, if he's at least a 3, he'll get the ball. And Scott is a 1, so it gets by Scott. Now, this could be a single or a double, and it's going to be a single. So it's a single for Chris Chambliss, a leadoff single. He's on at first. Next is Craig Nettles. Bottom of the 4th. Score is tied at 1-4-2. Against a lefty, it's a blank, so we're rolling off Nettles. That's a 4-5. 4-5 versus a righty is going to be a ground ball and through the right side for a base hit over to third, I believe. Oh, man. I believe Nettles will, Chambliss will make it over to third. He's a 2. Let's take a look here. First to third. Yes, he makes it over to third base. So first and third, back-to-back singles in the bottom of the 4th by Chris Chambliss and Greg Nettles, basically the corner stars of the Yankees, and it's Oscar Gamble. Now, in a 1-1 game, we're in the bottom of the 4th. We're going to go we want to stay out of a big inning, so we're going to play the infield halfway for the double play. That's a 3-4. Broberg, that's a potential home run. Against a left-handed batter is a 0, so we're rolling off Gamble's card. 6-1's a ground ball, second base. This could be 2. He's a 1, and there's no pivot advantages, but there's another 1, so a 1 or a 2, and it's a 2, so it's going to be a 3. It's a 4-6-3 double play. Run scores. But the Brewers stay out of a bigger inning, so it's a 4-6-3 double play. No RBI for Gamble since the run scored on the DP. And it's Elrod Hendricks. So the score is 2-1 Yankees now here in the bottom of the 4th. It's a 3-5, and that's a blank. So we're looking off Hendricks' card, a 6-1, and that's it's chopped to first. And right there is Scott. Makes the play, and now retires the side. Top of the 5th. Dick Tidrow, 2-1. And against a lefty, that's a star line out. And a star line out is a fly to left. That's a 4-4. And against a righty, that's strike 3. A 12 won't be, against a righty won't be a strikeout. So we're going to roll off Lizcano's card at 1-5. And that's a potential drive. And that's going to drop in front of the center fielder for a base hit single. So Lizcano, and we're going to roll to see if he gets a lead. And he had the lead, and a 20 could get him picked off. And the pickoff move is a 1-2. So on a 1-2, he's picked off, and it's a 1. Lizcano is caught basically distracted at first base, and he's picked off first. Holy smokes. And I'm going to put that down as a caught stealing. And it's going to be a 1, an assist. Now it's going to be a 1, a 3 caught stealing because I'm just going to do it that way. It's a little bit faster for me. I don't remember how to do it. So there's 2 outs now. So Sixto Lezcano is picked off first by Dick Tidrow. Dick Tidrow is not a particularly good pickoff move either. Just the roll of a 1 got him. Robin Yount. That's a 2-6. That's a blank. That's a 1-4, and that's a grounder to short. Mason, long throw, gets Yount just by half a step. And it's the Yankees, bottom of the 5th. 5-6. And it's a 5-6. It's a tired 1. We're not tired yet. So that takes us to Randolph, 6-5. And that's a fly ball, high fly right field. 1 down. Jim Mason's next. It's a 1-5. That's a blank. That's a 3-2, and that's a fly ball again, shallow right. Back-to-back flies to right. And now it's Mickey Rivers, 5-5. That's a potential walk. 13 won't be a walk, so we're looking off Rivers. Yeah, it was a 20. It was a 20 for the pickoff. Hey, Rick is in the house. Both my senseis are there. Those guys are my leaders in my instructors, my master senseis for Inside Pitch. Bob B. Bob B, if you have any questions, man, those guys pretty much, have been playing for a long time. Yeah, it was a 20. I rolled a 20, and then I rolled a 1. All right, so I don't know where I was here. Mickey Rivers. I think I was rolling off Mickey Rivers' card. 1-4, and that's a fly to left. And settling under it is the left fielder, Sixto Lezcano. And that retires aside. All right. Tim Johnson on top of the 6 Snake Eyes against a lefty. That's blank, so we're rolling off a 2-5, and that's going to be a ground ball through the right side. Base hit for Johnson. And we're going to get a bunt here. It's a 2-1 game. We're in the top of the 6th. We're going to get a bunt. And he's a 3 bunter. Let's see what happens here. Oh, that's an 8. That may be a good bunt. That may be a good bunt, and a 3 bunter. It is a good bunt, and it's bunted to who? It's bunted to the catcher, a little number in front of the plate. There's only going to be 1 play, and that's a successful sacrifice. That's going to be a 2-4. The tying run is at second base now. Johnson, let's look at his speed. He's a 3, so that's not too bad. Von Joshua. Joshua has been hitting. He's batting a .313 against the Yankees. Here's the pitch. That's a 2-6. That's blank, so we're rolling off Von Joshua's card. 4-1, and that's a ground ball hit hard at the third baseman. Now, if it's not a 6 and it's not, he looks Tim Johnson back to second, fires to first, and gets his man. So 5-3. Runner stays at second. 2 outs. Don Money batted .267. Here's the pitch to Don Money. 3-2, and that's a blank. It's a 4-1, and that's a ball that's driven in center field. Back goes Rivers in the gap and makes a nice running catch. Holy smokes, that was a close one there for the Yanks. That retires the side. We go to the bottom half of the 6th. It's Roy White, and it's 3-3, and that's going to be a potential walk 19. It is a walk, ball 4, so White is on at first. Carlos May next. White's going to try to get a lead. That's a 10, and I do not believe he manages with 10. I can even guarantee it. Yeah, he's a 4. And then Broberg is not. He's not going to. Yeah. All right, so it's 1-3. That's a range play ballpark. Range play ballpark. Let's see what happens on this one. This could be a tricky one. Oh, that's a foul ball. Now it's a ball that's, let's see what happens. 6-5. Oh, that's going to be a rare play. Oh, no, I'm reading it wrong. 1-5. Excuse me. I got it red. So it's a 1-5, and that's going to be a single plus to right field, which means Roy White is going to third. And we're going to try for a double. Who's trying for the double? That's Carlos May. He's a 3. And the right fielder's arm, Bernie Carbo. Carbo, I think, is a +1. Yeah, he is a +1. So that's a 4. We're looking at a 4. It's a 5, so he stays at first. So it's a single, first and third. 1 out. Oh, nobody out. Nobody out. And it's Chris Chambliss. Now, Chris Chambliss was batting 190 for a very long time. He was batting 190 for an extended month or so, and all of a sudden he exploded. Now he's got his average up to 280 almost. It's at 279. He's got 15 doubles, 4 triples, 7 home runs, 46 RBIs in about half the season. So he's going to have a great season. And his stats are almost identical. So he's got runners on first and third, and in this case, we're going to have to bring the infield in. Not a big fan of the infield in, simply because you got a runner on third is going to hold nobody out. And 5-6, that's a tired single. He's not tired yet. Oh, wait, no, he's not tired yet. So that's a 5-6, and that's a star line fly ball center field. Let's see if we can get a sacrifice fly out of this. He needs a 1. Nope, not going to get it. So that's a fly ball center field, 1 away. Next is Greg Nettles. Here's the pitch to Greg Nettles, a 2-1. That's a walk plus. And that's going to be, with a 20, that's not going to be a walk. It's too high. And that's 1-5, and that's popped up. Right side, first baseman Scott right there puts it away. That's 2 down. So after runners on first and third and nobody out, there's 2 outs, and it's Oscar Gamble. Here's the pitch to Oscar Gamble. 5-6, that's a tired single. He's not tired yet. That's going to be a 3-3 and a star line fly ball center field. And right there's Joshua. Settles under it, makes the catch. We're going to top of the 7th. I'm going to take a second. Give me 30 seconds on this. All right. Sorry for the technical difficulties. We had the sound go out on us. George Scott is leading off against Dick Tidrow here in a 2-1 Yankee game, Yankee lead. Top of the 7th at Yankee Stadium. Second game of a doubleheader. Yanks lost the first one by a score of 2-1. It was Jim Catfish Hunter who took the loss in that one. That snake eyes against a righty. That's a potential strikeout, and a 7 will be a strikeout. So Tidrow blows one by. George Scott. Bernie Carbo is next. Snake eyes, that's a potential, nope, not against the lefty. And it's a 4-1. It's a ground ball, chopped to short. And Mason waits back a second, now charges, throw to first in time. Mike Hegan, and that's a 3-2. That's going to be a blank. We're going off Hegan's card. And a 5-6. And that's a little dribbler to the first baseman. And charging it is Chambliss. Turns around, and the second baseman, Randolph, is there, and it's going to be a 3-4 putout. Mike Hegan, holy smokes. That's an unusual play result there. It was a ball that was nubbed and kind of in between the second baseman and the first baseman. When Chambliss decided he was going to go all out after it, Randolph was astute enough to make it to first, cover the bag, and they just got Mike Hegan, who doesn't run very well. I mean, he's a 2-base runner. But that's going to be a 3. I don't even think that gives me a chance to have it. I can't even pick a 3-4. I don't think that's even available to me. That's funny. All right, so I'm going to make it a 3-1. That's close enough. And we go to the bottom of the 7th inning. '92 Chicago White Sox. Game 3 of 4, Texas at Chicago. Roger Pavlik versus Charlie Huff. Wow. That's a blast from the past. Crazy. What do you mean I'm not paying attention? I'm paying attention. What did I miss? All right. Elrod Hendricks. Where's Elrod Hendricks? All right, Elrod Hendricks is up versus Pete Broberg. Pete Broberg is almost at his max. 3-5, that's a blank. And a 2-3, and that's a ground ball, a second. And that's 1 away. Willie Randolph. 3-2, that's a potential hit by pitch. He's a +8, and a 4, that's a 12. We roll a 2. So Willie Randolph gets plunked, makes it to first base on a hit by pitch. Jim Mason is next. Snake Eyes, that's a blank. And a 1-5, and that's a hard hit ground ball right at the shortstop. And a 5 is going to be a fielder's choice. So that's going to be a 6-4, no throw to first. Randolph goes in hard, breaks it up. Back in the 70s, you could go in hard and do that sort of thing. All right, there's 2 outs, 1 on. Mick the Quick. Mick the Quick today is 0 for 2 with a base on balls and a stolen base and a run scored. So that's 6-6. We're looking against a lefty. That's a ground ball up the middle and through for a base hit. And hustling over to third will be Jim Mason. Oh, it's a 4. I don't even think he'll make it. He's a 2 +1 for 2 outs. No, he's going to stop at second base. Stopping at second base is Mason. First and second and 2 outs, and it's Roy White. Now, Broberg is fatigued already, so hopefully that doesn't come back to bite him. 4-5, that's a double question mark. Double question mark is down here. We roll an 8 against a switch hitter batting lefty. That's going to be a ground ball up the middle and through for a base hit. And that's going to score a run. 3-1, Yankees. And Mickey Rivers is going to go to third on this. So he scores. Mickey Rivers goes to third. First and third, and it's Carlos May. And that's going to be it. We're going to bring in Castro. He's a righty. Oh, there's a lefty. We'll bring in Ray Sadecki. It's a lefty. Sadecki's in. New pitcher, Sadecki. Carlos May is up. 2 outs. Runners on first and third. Here's the pitch. It's a 4-5. That's a blank. We're looking at Carlos May. It's a 3-2. And that is a ground ball through the right side for a base hit. That's going to score another run. And Roy White's going to go to third on this. 4-1 Yankees. Carlos May with a big 2-out single. And it's Chris Chambliss. Here's the pitch from Sadecki. It's a 5-1. That's a potential K. And 18 won't be a K. Chambliss doesn't strike out that often. 6-2. It's a fly ball, deep right field. Back goes the right fielder. Who's that out there? That was Bernie Carbo to the track, to the wall, makes the catch. Bernie Carbo got a great jump on that ball, made it to the warning track, and was right there to retire the side. We go to top of the 8th. Tidrow's still in there. Now, Tidrow can go 30 pitches. Holy smokes, as a starter. And he's still not close to that. 2-5. 2-5 is a potential strikeout versus a righty, and this is going to be a strikeout. Tidrow strikes out Lezcano for out number 1 in top of the 8th. It's a 3-1. That's a wild, so that's a foul ball. And a 3-3 is a potential error. And a 2-1 is a ground ball to short. And nice play by Mason. Fires to first. 2 down. And now it's Tim Johnson. Tim Johnson is 1 for 2 today. 3-1, that's wild again. We'll keep on rolling that 3-1. 2-2. And that's versus, oh, that's going to be a blank versus a lefty. And a 4-1, that's popped up. Left side, back goes Nettles and Mason. In comes White. White calls him off. And that retires the side. We go to bottom half of the 8th. Craig Nettles leading it off. Ray Sadecki on the mound, 2-6. That's a walk plus. It's going to be it's a ball 4. Nettles walks. He's on the first. Oscar Gamble next. That's a 6-5. That's a blank. We're looking off Gamble's card. That's a 6-4. And that's a 9. And a not question mark 9. That's to right field. We roll a 16. And versus a right-handed pitcher, that's going to be a fly ball driven to right field. And in the gap is Bernie Carbo, and he makes the catch. Nice catch by Carbo. So that's 1 out. And it's Elrod Hendricks. Here's the pitch from Sadecki. 2-3, a potential throwing error. That's another weird one. 6-1. That's a grounder to the first baseman. He's going to flip to the first base for the pitcher, and he does. It's a 3-1. Oh, you know what? I could actually go for a double play on that. They could go for a double play. He's only a 1 double play, so it's a 2. We roll a 6. So runner moves to second. 2 outs, runner on second. And now it's Willie Randolph. Randolph today is 0 for 2 with a hit by pitch. Score is 4-1 Yankees. Pitch from Sadecki, Snake Eyes, that's a blank. Willie Randolph, a 2-6, and that's line. Base hit center field. And that's going to score Nettles, perhaps. I believe it will score Nettles. Nettles is a 2. It's 3 because there's 2 outs. The center fielder has no arm. And a single to center field is a +2, so he scores on this. Well, he does. I still got a roll, and that's a 2-1, so he does score easily. 5-1 Yankees. So Randolph picks an RBI on that single, and it's Jim Mason against Ray Sadecki, who by now is kind of tired already. 4-4, and that's an error on. And I had to roll for an error on the throw on that last one. Error on the throw. Let's roll again. Let's hope it's high. 14. Yeah, it's not going to be an error. So now let's roll this again. Ray Sadecki 5-5. That's a potential error. It's a 5-3 and a potential error against a left fielder. That's a 13. My left fielder is White, and I'm sorry, the left fielder is Lezcano, and Lezcano's rating is an 8. We roll a 13, so that's going to be a ball that he gets to, and that's going to retire the side. So fly ball to Lezcano on left, that retires the side. But the Yanks pick up 1, and they lead at 5-1 going to the top of the 9th. All right, it's going to be Tidrow versus Kushner, Art Kushner. And we're going to let Kushner bat because why not? I couldn't care less. 5-1. This is almost the end here. 5-1 is going to be ballpark. What did I do with the ballpark card? There it is. Let's see what happens on the ballpark. 4-1. That's a grounder to Chambliss. 1 away. Von Joshua. This is a good creating a stadium sound. Von Joshua 3-4. I said you got to pay attention because I don't remember if I rolled off the pitcher's card yet. So let's start off. Let's start fresh. Let's be fair. 5-5. That's a tired single. Is he tired yet? Not yet. So we're going off Von Joshua's card here. It's a 1-4. That's a comebacker to Tidrow. Fields his position. Nice play and throws out Joshua. Great play by Dick Tidrow on that comebacker. And there's 2 outs. So the Yanks, the Brewers, are down to their last out in a 5-1 game. It's Don Money to pitch from 2. That's foul back for Money. That's a souvenir for a lucky fan. It's at 3-5. That's ball 4. Ball 4 against a righty. No, we're rolling off Money's card. 1-3, and that's a line drive and caught by Roy White in left. Hit it right on the screw. It was a later frozen rope, but right to Roy White, and that's the ball game. The Yankees win it by a score of 5-1. They improved their record to 44-23, almost identical to the record that they had in reality. So this game is pretty much spot on. The loss is going to go to Broberg. The win's going to be for Dick Tidrow. And this is the second game of the doubleheader. Yep. And let's look at the box score here to really point out anybody who deserves to be mentioned. Well, there were 3 Yankees that had 2 hits. White, May, and Nettles, they all had 2 hits. Nettles has raised his batting average to 220. Again, another guy who's hovering around 190 below the Mendoza line for a very long time. He's really, really turned it up here towards the middle of the season. He's batting 218 now. He had 2 hits today. Roy White had 2 RBIs, and May had 1. And it's going to be Tidrow's 3rd win of the season. He improves his record to 3-2. He went 9 innings, 3 hits, 1 earned run, no walks, 3 strikeouts. Lowered his ERA to 2.24. So that was your presentation of the 1976 Yankees using inside pitch baseball. I don't know. Let me check and see who I play next in this replay. So this was the game of doubleheader, and the Yankees split it. They lost the first game 2-1, win this game by a score of 5-1. And the next game we face, it's Kenny Holtzman versus Mark the Bird Fidrich. So that's going to be one that we must stream. Now, I want to pull out my replay baseball, and I want to take a look at that, and I'm going to try to play a game tonight. I may have to do a practice game, or at least practice half game, because I haven't played it in a while. So I'll be kind of stale, a little rusty. So I want to play a replay baseball game tonight. Haven't played it in a while. Let's see the Bird. The Bird will be out, Rick. And I'm ordering my cards today. I don't know. I may get the PDF first for the 69 season. I may get the PDF first and then get the colored cards later. The PDF is only $15. So that's like, I'm not taking that seriously. But I was thinking that if I'm going to mix, I don't want all the different colors of all the players. Because if I buy the color version and I look at my deck and I have players from like all these different teams, it's going to be all crazy colors. And that's going to like throw off my brain. So I was thinking of just getting the PDF, like black and white version, and just doing it that way. Trump is the lucky fan who caught the foul ball. Oh, my God. Bob is hilarious. All right. The reason Tony keeps pausing the game is because Trump's going to Tony's house. He's not paying attention. You can say anything that he puts. I bet you I missed a lot. When you're around, man, you're a danger, dude. Oh my God. Let's see. Teeing up my next IP game. I read that. 72. I'm about to play. Okay. 72 Mets versus 72 Dodgers. Super rookie Tony Porter. Oh my shit. All right. Gnarled Old Pro by 1980. That's right. You know it. All right. I think they were trying to see if you were paying attention. That's right. All right, man. Thank you, guys. So yeah, Rick, that's what I'm doing. I'm going to get that thing. I'm going to get the PDF, and I'm looking to get a better printer. I just actually attached a new printer to a new laptop. So I'm going to set up. Once I set up, I'm going to one day do a little mini video on my baseball. My son says I work for the CIA because I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 screens. I'm surrounded by 6 different screens. He says, he comes in here and says, "Are you working for the CIA?" And I go, "Yeah, tabletop CIA." Trying to see if you're paying attention. No, I wasn't. All right, so guys, that's it, man. I'm tired out. This was an hour-long stream. Had some good laughs. And what can I tell you? Say goodbye. So thanks for stopping by and saying hello. And remember, this is your home for tutorials and strategy and player profiles, history, reviews, news, tips, tops, baseball cards, rants. That happens every so often. Unboxings, and rules talk about the rules. And thanks for stopping by. I appreciate Bob. Thank you very much for stopping by and giving me a laugh. That was hilarious. Thank you, Mr. Molly, Mr. Molly, for doing that and stopping by and sharing what you're doing. Benny Blades enjoys the rants all the time. Yeah, there's a rant in the first 20 minutes of the video. There's a rant. Plastic Grass book. Hold on. I'm reading like 5 books at one time, and I'm reading that one. It's good. They're all good. Let's see. Do I have that one in here? No, I don't have it in here. It's probably on my nightstand. Hold on a second. Oh, wait, it is in here. Is this the plastic? Yeah, right here. This is where I'm at. Chapter 11. I just read 1976, but I'm going to reread that. I'm going to reread 76. I want to do 75. Big hair and plastic grass. Rose, froze, and anything goes. Hilarious stuff. Great pictures. Oh, man, look at that. Hank Aaron. Look at him. He was a powerhouse. Even at what? He's like 40? Jesus Christ. The guy looks like he's freaking 20 years old. It's a monster, man. He's got muscles on his muscles. Look at this guy. He's juggling. Who's that? Dick Allen with the Sox, juggling baseballs. 1976. So you still had these hardcore guys from the 60s. Boog Powell is still around. That's the cool thing about 76, guys. If you want to play a season it marries synthesizes both the 60s and the 70s. You get the end of those great 60s players, and they're still around, So you get to play Oscar Gamble with the fro. Look at that fro. That's classic. Big Bird. This is a great little book. Thank you very much for recommending that, Rick. Appreciate it, my brother. All right, I will say goodbye to you guys. And this is CP Cards and Dice saying keep rolling and be good. Take care.